Ghanatube. So everything for young CNN's report on our elections. Everything for my Troy now CNN 4. Yes, so many now say Ghanaians will go to the polls on Saturday to elect their next president. That is today. As the West African country grapples the muntie into my CNN 4 country. Mo say Africa dey say African country grapples with its West economic situation in decades. 12 candidates are vying for the presidency as the current incumbent Nana Akufo-Addo reaches his 2-term limit. This is a report from CNN. But the front runners are seen as two men from Ghana's two dominant parties, the ruling New Patriotic Party and the opposition National Democratic Congress, that is the NDC. Opinion polls indicates that voters are split between current Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, 61, and former one-term President John Mahama, 66, who hopes to achieve a comeback similar to that achieved by US President-elect Donald Trump. The economy is a priority for the electors. Godfrey Ța, an economist and professor of finance at the University of Ghana Business School, told CNN. But other issues such as high unemployment and the crisis over illegal gold mining, known locally as galamsey, will also influence how voters cast their vote, said Kwame Asante, a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Now, Omasa Anemi, another one, said rising poverty levels. Ghanaians have been railing against environmental degradation caused by unlicensed small-scale mining, a long-standing issue that has left large swaths of land pockmarked by pits and major rivers polluted. Over the years, illegal mining sites have been proliferated despite efforts by successive governments to rein in galamsey, including military deployments by the current government to shut it down. High inflation, youth unemployment, and a steep increase in cost of living are believed to be its main drives aimed amid a global surge in global prices. According to data from the Ghana Statistical Service, more than 1.3 million people aged between 15 and 35 were unemployed as of September last year. That is so interesting. The country's economy is also reeling from the shock of the COVID-19 pandemic, which triggered a rise in poverty level since 2020, according to the World Bank. It added in an October report that weak economic growth, limited government spending, and a high inflation, particularly in food prices, have worsened living standards, pushing more people into poverty and increasing the risk of food insecurity. These are all reports from CNN. In December 2022, Ghana's inflation rate hit 54.1% year on year. It's its highest rate in more than 2 decades, surprising protests over alleged economic mismanagement. In the same year, Ghana's central bank recorded a loss of 60.8 billion cedis, more than $5 billion at the time. The country also suffered other economic shocks such as the depreciation of its currency, mounting debt, and a federal budget weakened by high energy sector costs amid low public revenues, the World Bank said last year. If the economy had gone well, I don't think the opposition would have stood any chance, because when it comes to the economic jargon, nobody understands it better than that is the current Vice President and presidential candidate Bawumia. Economics ța said about the potential impact of the economic hardships may have had on the ruling party's popularity. Bawumia, a UK-trained economist, has been the poster boy of the government economic policies, chairing its economic management team. In response to criticisms over his handling of the country's struggling economy, Bawumia has absolved himself from the blame, saying in February that his role was advisory and without decision-making powers. Bawumia has also been criticized by his rival Mahama for saying little about the economy during his campaign. His strategy has been disassociate himself from the economic fallout. Analyst Ansa Asante said that Bawumia's record on the economy had become both a blessing and a curse to him in the run-up to the elections. His campaign spokesperson Dennis Miracle Sabwaje acknowledged there had been challenges. We haven't had the best of days when it comes to the economy between 2020 and 2024. He told CNN, inflation went all the way to 54%. We fought so hard to bring it down to 21%. We initially took it from 15% under Mahama's government. So it is not the best, he said, adding, we've had challenges with exchange rates where it's been quite volatile. The Statistical Service announced Wednesday that the country's annual inflation rate had risen to 23%, the highest in 6 months, with just days to the elections. Abwaji said the current government had performed strongly on road infrastructure, health, education, and tackling unemployment. However, adding that more than 2.3 million jobs had been created. Bawumia's manifesto also boasts of providing stable electricity for almost 8 years after lingering power cuts that blighted Mahama's first stint in office between 2012 and 2017. Local studies said the power shortages known in Ghana as Dumso cost the country's millions of dollars in lost revenue in that period. The Dumso under Mahama was so severe, it continues to bring back painful memories to those who lost their economic livelihoods, and Asante said. A national spokesperson for Mahama's NDC party did not respond to CNN's multiple requests for interview. That is so interesting. So, CNN agada information when you na enomode ato Ghana near Akosu ewa Ghana for the past 8 years under Bawumia and Nana Ado's administration. And you see these are the areas that's going to influence the general elections. And now no kaselo. Ghana for be kotoaba. Ebumbe to based on so Nana Ado Mumbai no 8 years yada kanimu Mahama wohono ye experience dum se hu beka say o man ni mu ayedin food prices are cost inflation I say exchange rate I say need the kaka ho. So see these are some of the areas I say these are some of the things that across the man Ghana is going to influence the election. Some of the reports aba say way and a cost between Mahama and Bawumia no one for a penny calculator ne calculate 1 or 2 so okoto aba ne mewuni bakra obeto amansene ne abato ne ekoso no ebusia for me nche omedu besi ha na for comment no ewukimi CNN report no eye ode anase enye ode na meje bre no makenkan ede amo Ghana chips ni odofo snowy ensini akra.